In this video, I'm going to show you simple shortcuts that will help you solve this gradient question under less than 30 seconds. And then I will walk you through it step by step on how all these shortcuts come together. Let me show you.
All right, next set, 30 seconds with a preamble to all schools. Preamble. Find the gradient of the curve with equation.
So the first shortcut or trick in this question is that when they say find the gradient, gradient is the same as slope, which simply means differentiate the equation. So we are simply asking you to find dy dx. To go super fast, instead of writing dy dx, you just represent it by y prime. Why? Because writing dy over dx may take some few seconds from you. And remember, you don't have much time. So just simply represent or simply write y prime to denote the differentiation of the equation, okay? So that is the first trick, or that's the first shortcut.
xy multiplying the expression x plus y is equal to 84 at the point with coordinates 3, 4.
Remember that in the question, they gave you the coordinate 3, 4. So x will be 3, y will be 4. So the second shortcut or the second trick over here is that you have to quickly pre-calculate the key values in your head, okay?
xy multiplying the expression x plus y is equal to 84.
So they gave you xy multiplying the expression x plus y. We know that x is 3, y is 4. So xy simply means that 3 times 4, which is equal to 12. And then x plus y will be equal to 3 plus 4 equal to 7. These are very key values that we will use later on. So you will quickly compute that at the back of your head, okay? Now, since xy is multiplying x plus y, so we are going to use the product rule over here to be able to find our dy dx, which is the same thing as y prime. So u would be xy. If you are solving it super fast, you do not have to write that u is equal to xy, v is equal to x plus y. No, I'm explaining it to you so that you'll be able to understand how the trick works, okay? And v will be x plus y, and then we have our constant 84. The whole expression was equal to 84. So we will then differentiate u. So we will say u prime. If you differentiate xy with respect to x, you are going to get y, plus if you differentiate xy with respect to y, you are going to get x dy dx, which we are representing it as y prime, okay? Don't forget that, because if you keep writing dy dx, you will waste your time. So you have x y prime. So the next one is to find v prime. If you differentiate x, you are going to get 1, plus if you differentiate y, you are going to get y prime. If you differentiate a constant, you are going to get 0. That means the whole equation will be equal to 0. Now the product rule comes in. For product rule, again, you do not have to write the formula for product rule. This is for explanation or illustration purposes. Remember, we are always working against time, so you have to be super fast. So for the product rule, we have u multiplying v prime plus v multiplying u prime. So the question now becomes u is xy, and remember that we already computed for xy, which gave us a value of 12. So we will simply write 12 open bracket, v prime is the differentiated v. We had 1 plus y prime plus v, and when we calculated for v, we had 7, if you remember, because this one will be at the back of our mind, okay? So we will have 7 open bracket 4 plus 3y prime. 4 is the value for y and 3 is the value for x. So when you get here, you say all equal to 0, because when you differentiated 84, you got 0. The next step is to perform expansion. So 12 times 1 will be 12 plus 12 times y prime will be 12y prime plus 7 times 4 will be 28 plus 7 times 3y prime will be 21y prime, all equal to 0. when you get to this stage, you can choose to group the y prime together, or you can just do a visual testing. When you do a visual testing, you just look really fast to identify the groups that are similar, and you do a mental math or a mental calculation. So when you do that, you will have 12 plus 28 will be 40. 12y prime plus 21y prime will be 33y prime, which is the same thing as 33 dy dx, which will be equal to 0. To find y prime, we will say y prime is equal to 40 is positive on the left hand side. If it causes the equal to sign to the right hand side, it's going to be negative 40, and you divide both sides by 33. Therefore, y prime or dy dx, which is the gradient or which is the slope, is now equal to negative 40 divided by 33. So now that I've shown you all the tricks and the shortcuts that you have to do, the next step in this process is to show you how all these tricks or shortcuts come together. Okay, so let's listen to the question and see how the solution will proceed. Okay,
Preamble. Find the gradient of the curve with equation St. Augustine's xy multiplying the expression x plus y is equal to 84 at the point with coordinates 3, 4. Yes, upon.
The gradient is an expression with negative 40 as the numerator and 33 as the denominator.
You're right.
so you saw how quickly all these shortcuts were put together to solve the question. Notice that I didn't write any formulas, I didn't write any extraneous things, I didn't use the y dx. I simply listened to a question and quickly jumped into action. Okay, I always say that practice makes permanent, so keep on practicing, work on your speed, and I promise you, you can do this. This is Kokochem Education YouTube channel. Consider subscribing, liking, sharing this video so that we can reach more students. See you next time. Bye.
Think,